Original Kurzgesagt, and this is AI, humanity's final invention. By Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Is this going to be fear-mongering about AI? AI took my job, that South Park thing. Or is it going to be like, let's calm down a bit, let's see the reality? Knowing Kurzgesagt is going to be, I guess, kind of both. It will start as that, or how people perceive AI, and end with something more realistic and grounded. Not that there is nothing to fear about AI, of course there is, but then again, there's everything to fear about everything. Even if you take a car outside and go on a trip, there's a fear there. So you do that all the time, so you don't think about it. But yeah, there's a fear there. You might crash something, right? So there's fear everywhere, but yeah. And AI kind of, that took my job. AI kind of did that a long time ago because, let's be honest, all the automated machines in the factories are kind of AI. I mean, what is AI, right? Even today's AI is not really AI. So where do you draw the line? Anything a script doing certain type of job, isn't that like kind of AI as well, in a way? So they already automated a lot of things. Now it's like getting more complex, that's it, right? And with the NVIDIA and their CUDA cores, I remember my first graphic card when I bought, not first graphic card, first, ready desktop, I don't know how to say, HP desktop, I bought that like 15 years ago, something, 2010, I think it was in 2010. I had a computer before that, obviously, but 2010 is like the first time I actually like, screw it, I'm not going to build it myself, let's just buy something from HP. And there was like NVIDIA GT210, or was it? I think it was NVIDIA GT220, I didn't buy 210, and it had like first time the CUDA cores. I remember like, oh, it's a CUDA core, i3 220, I think that's what that was. Right? It was CUDA cores, like nobody knew like where this is going to lead to, right? But this CUDA core basically changed everything for processing, cryptocurrency, and now AI as well. All the AI and like most of the things on the planet that is happening based around AI has to go through some type of NVIDIA hardware because of this, because of CUDA. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting video. Kurzgesagt is a great channel. I like watching Kurzgesagt in generally because obviously physics, which is my favorite topic, astrophysics, which is even better, right? And science in general. Science that I don't know about much about like biology and things. Obviously topics like this AI, which is going to be fun. So let's watch it.
Humans rule Earth without competition, but we're about to create something that may change that. Our last invention, the most powerful tool, weapon, or maybe even entity, artificial superintelligence. This sounds like science fiction, so let's start at the beginning. Intelligence is the ability to learn, reason, acquire knowledge and skills, and use them to solve problems. Intelligence is power, and we're the species that exploited it the most. So much so that humanity broke the game of nature and took control. But the journey there wasn't straightforward. For most animals, intelligence costs too much energy to be worth it.
I think if I remember correctly, like Neanderthals were not as smart. Why? Because they were like kind of bigger and better at a lot of things. So because we're Homo sapiens, exactly where we were, like we weren't that physically dominant, right? So we were having issues. That's why like sweat and like things like that really helped out with the endurance and things. But we start to like look for things, and that just basically we evolved into more and more intelligent being because of it.
Still, if we track intelligence in the tree of species over time, we can see lots of diverse forms of intelligence emerge. The earliest brains were in flatworms 500 million years ago. Just a tiny cluster of neurons to handle basic body functions. It took hundreds of millions of years for species to diversify and become more complex. Life conquered new environments, gained new senses, and had to contend with fierce competition over resources. But in nature, all that matters is survival, and brains are expensive, so for almost all animals, a narrow intelligence fit for a narrow range of tasks was enough. In some environments, animals like birds, octopuses, and mammals evolved more complex neural structures. For them, it paid off to have more energy-consuming skills like advanced navigation and communication. Until 7 million years ago, the hominins emerged. We don't know why, but their brains grew faster than their relatives. Something was different about their intelligence. Very slowly, it turned from narrow to general, from a screwdriver to a multi-tool, able to think about diverse problems. 2 million years ago, Homo erectus saw the world differently from anyone before, as something to be understood
Yeah, screwdriver to simple basic things to quantum mechanics. And there you go, calculus. That's the leap. There you go.
and transformed. They controlled fire, invented tools, and created the first culture. We probably emerged from them around 250,000 years ago with an even larger and more complex brain. It enabled us to work together in large groups and to communicate complex thoughts. We used our intelligence to improve our lives, to ask how things worked and why things are the way they are. With each discovery, we asked more questions and pushed forward, preserving what we learned, outpacing what evolution could do with genes. Knowledge builds on knowledge. Progress was slow at first and then sped up exponentially. Agriculture, writing, medicine, astronomy, or philosophy exploded into the world. 200 years ago, science took off and made us even better at learning about the world and speeding up progress. 35 years ago, the internet age.
There you go. In past 4 or 5 seconds, certain type of people already turned off this video. A lot of space deniers and flat earthers will say, that's fear, the lie. Then again, like space, come on, we never went to the moon. So yeah, the more we got better, the more we question things, and also like regressing a bit with that shit. But then again, I don't think that's the case. I think like because of internet, a lot of idiots have voice. That was always the case, but now it's just like larger. And there are also like susceptible idiots who wouldn't have that kind of like thinking, but they're susceptible to that. And when they hear that from internet, so the number grows basically.
Began. Today, we live in a world made to suit our needs, created by us, for us. This is incredibly new. We forget how hard it was to get here, how enormous the steps on the intelligence ladder were, and how long it took to climb them. But once we did, we became the most powerful animal in the world in a heartbeat. But we may be in the process of changing this.
We are such a powerful animal that if somebody calls us animal, we get pissed off. That's how high are we flying. Go ahead and call some human animal. You're a different type of animal. See what happens. That's where we are.
Building machines that could be better at the very thing that gave us the power to conquer the planet. Humanity's final invention. Artificial intelligence.
This is so intense because everything we've done so far is just like, like growing our own intelligence and making useful tools in a way. Artificial intelligence is like creating intelligence. This is different type of leap that we have never done since the start of all this basically. Since Homo sapiens to here, right? Hominins to all the way here. This is different type of leap. And like we are not at the level where it's like, proper artificial intelligence, like you can think, you can question things, but that day is coming really nearly and things are progressing exponentially faster. People assume certain things will happen in 20 years, happen in 5 years. So who knows where we go from here, right?
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is software that performs mental tasks with a computer. Code that uses silicon instead of neurons to solve problems. In the beginning, AI was very simple. Lines of code on paper, mere proofs of concept to demonstrate how machines could perform mental tasks. Only in the 1960s did we start seeing the first examples of what we would recognize as AI. A chatbot in 1964, a program to sort through molecules in 1965. Slow, specialized systems requiring experts to use them. Their intelligence was extremely narrow, built for a single task inside a controlled environment. The equivalent of flatworms 500 million years ago doing the minimum amount of mental work. Progress in AI research paused several times when researchers lost hope in the technology. But just like changing environments create new niches for life, the world around AI changed. Between 1950 and 2000, computers got 1 billion times faster, while programming became easier and widespread.
It's not about computers. See, it doesn't matter how much complex Intel processors, AMD processors, or let's just say processors in general. Doesn't matter how complex you make them. It has ability to do one or at best 2 major tasks and smaller, very small tasks in the background. But in proper process, 1 or 2, even in today with the major computer CPUs with multiple cores, that's the thing, right? It's not before NVIDIA came, right? People are like, NVIDIA, that like geek guy who just plays video games on its PC is something, that's what NVIDIA is. No, it's not. It's a technology that is being used as video game, sure, but it's a technology that's getting better. And basically the NVIDIA guy you see all the time, like giving presentation with a card in the hand, he's the one who come up with the NVIDIA, one of the guys. And he's the one who's having this kind of revolutionary idea. Nobody sees him as like, who's that Apple guy? I forgot. I forgot the name of the Apple guy who died, right? Who's like revolutionary. People remember 2008. Nobody thinks of NVIDIA guy like that. But he's as revolutionary, right? Because he came up with the CUDA, like I said. Like CUDA was game changing, right? It had like thousands of CUDA cores in like one graphic card. Now obviously those cores are not as powerful as like CPU, but it can do meaningful, way too many multiple tasks at the same time, right? At the same time. So that changed AI. You see this AI resurgence in the past 10-15 years. Past 10-15 years is when CUDA cores came, right? NVIDIA is in the center of everything, all the AI process. Every AI like ChatGPT, Samsung, Apple, all the AI are using. Even Elon Musk, right? He's making his Tesla cars better through AI, and there was like a graph there, like some article there. So like we're using thousands of NVIDIA cards. Of course you are. That's how you do AI. CUDA cores are where it's at. That's where the architecture is. So it's NVIDIA and its like genius vision of CUDA cores on how process should work multiplied this in this complex form. Otherwise it wouldn't have happened. Like it would have happened. Somebody would have created CUDA like technology, but this is how it happened.
Spread. In 1972, AI could navigate a room. In 1989, it could read handwritten numbers. But it remained a fancy tool, no match for humans. Until in 1997, an AI shocked the world by beating the world champion in chess, proving that we could build machines that could surpass us, but we calmed ourselves because a chessbot is quite stupid. Not a flatworm, but maybe a bee, only able to perform a specialized narrow task. But within this narrow task, it's so good that no human will ever again beat AI at chess. As computers continued to improve, AI became a powerful tool for more and more tasks. In 2004, it drove a robot on Mars. In 2011, it began recommending YouTube videos to you. But this was only possible because humans broke down problems into easy-to-digest chunks that computers could solve quickly. Until we taught AIs to teach themselves. Rise of the self-learning machines. This is not a technical video, so we're massively oversimplifying here. In a nutshell, the sheer power of supercomputers was combined with the almost endless data collected in the information age to make a new generation of AI.
Don't think this is not chaotic, by the way. This is like Wild West as it can be. Who was that bot that's which company? Some company basically released AI on Twitter or something, and by a few months it was like saying racist things and Hitler things and God knows what. Because of course, if you leave AI to leave a toddler to learn for itself and see places like Twitter and things, where do you think that's gonna go?
AI experts began drastically improving forms of AI software called neural networks, enormously huge networks of artificial neurons that start out being bad at their tasks. They then used machine learning, which is an umbrella term for many different training techniques and environments that allows algorithms to write their own code and improve themselves. The scary thing is that we don't exactly know how they do it and what happens inside them. Just that it works and that what comes out the other end is a new type of AI.
We get overwhelmed with all the information we have. So the way we think is different, right? When you really sit down and think about how our processes work, is usually like really complex, but it's made in a way so we don't get overwhelmed, because multitasking is really hard for us in this way at least. Well, silicon and computer doesn't have that kind of an issue. So when you basically have no limitation in that way, and you basically like shoved a lot of information and try to find pattern in it, it's not that hard when you really think about it. Obviously it's going to take time, but not as nearly as much as you think. Look at in 5-6 years, AI is completely different now. Ridiculously different. AI can figure out an entire landscape and see a photo and just like, oh, this is how a photo should, and will change a lot of things in the background, knowing what you want. Shit like that didn't happen 10 years ago. 10 years ago, AI barely functioned, right? And all those like figuring out those, every time you click on those, photos, right? Which photos has bicycles in them? Which photo has truck in them? They were all being used as this simplicity. That's like first one thing in a million things about AI doing. And there was a lot of things. Every time you did something on internet, AI was kind of like understanding. Obviously, not that it's you, but somebody's doing something and try to figure out how human works, right? Internet is a perfect place in this way. If you want to learn something for some complex system, that is what AI is.
A capable black box of code. These new AIs could master complex skills extremely quickly with much less human help. They were still narrow intelligences, but a huge step up. In 2014, Facebook AI could identify faces with 97% accuracy. In 2016, an AI beat the best humans in the incredibly complex game of Go. In 2018, a self-learning AI
CUDA is strong, by the way, around this time.
learned chess in 4 hours just by playing against itself, and then defeated the best specialized chess bot. Since then, machine learning has been applied to reading, image processing, solving tests, and much more. Many of these AIs are already better than humans for whatever narrow task they were trained, but they still remained a simple tool. AI still didn't seem that big of a deal for most people. And then came the chatbot ChatGPT. The work that went into it is massive. It trained on nearly everything written on the internet to learn how to handle language, which it now does better than most people. It can summarize, translate, and help with some maths problems. It's incredibly more broad than any other system just a few years ago, not crushing any single benchmark, but all of them at once.
Yeah, I think it's collection of a lot of things, and ChatGPT was ready before it was like shown to the world. It was ready. Obviously, that's how things go. You just don't want to like jump the gun type of shit, right? So all those previous like Siri, Alexa, all these things on that ChatGPT was already getting stronger that way, right? And obviously it uses all the combination and collection of things to be one proper AI, which is how it should be, right? And yeah, in the pandemic and things, people are bitching about how Nvidia doesn't care, how Nvidia graphics are too costly and they don't want to sell. Nvidia doesn't get, because they don't care. Nvidia already knew where they were going, right? Their stock was insanely going hard. Right now it's projected as like one of the top companies, even beating Apple. Like, can you even imagine beating Apple? Are you kidding me? So basically, because of Nvidia just focused all from cryptocurrency to AI, they knew which direction they were going, right? And they were already helping Alexa, Siri, ChatGPT. They were in the core of it. They were the one with the tech. They were the one with the architecture, and they were the one doing all that. They already knew all this.
Many large tech companies are spending billions to build powerful competitors. AI is already transforming customer service, banking, healthcare, marketing, copywriting, creative spaces, and more. AI-generated content has already taken hold of social media, YouTube, and news websites. Elections are expected to be inundated
at a level that you see comments on certain YouTube videos like, oh, AI is getting stronger now. Oh, this is generated by AI. Even though I can see it already that it's not, because I can see flaws that AI wouldn't have made, human flaws. But people just like, oh, this is made by AI. Not really.
by propaganda and misinformation. No one is sure how much good or harm can come from adopting AI everywhere. Change is scary. There will be winners and losers. One of the biggest questions governments and corporations have now is how to manage the transition to an AI-boosted economy.
This is the biggest issue going forward. Because all the governments are incompetent, this is like a big leap. How we had the nuke thing, treaties, like, okay, let's not nuke things. Geneva Conventions for the war. People say, oh, freedom, everybody should have everything. Okay, but then again, we live in free world, but with a limitation. There's an asterisk on top of every free. Because ultimate free world would be like Wild West. You manage your own shit, people duke it out, even shoot themselves. That's not a good place to live, is it? I mean, there's a reason why we have to drive at a speed limit. Even though I can probably drive at 150 miles per hour and never hit anything. But I have to because some idiot can't. There are a lot of limitations everywhere, right? People really struggle with this type of mentality. Like, oh, everything should be free, no regulation, nobody should intervene. Not really, that's going to be chaotic. People need to understand where AI progress is happening and how to regulate it well, not regulate in a level where they come in the way. That is also the fucking problem. How to find the middle ground, who to employ, which government body to employ, they would actually look at this shit. This is all up in the air, right? So yeah, future is really dependent on humans being competent or not, right? If they're not competent, if nobody does anything, it can go bad.
All these potential gains or risks are just the result of today's AI. ChatGPT's intelligence is a major step up, but it remains narrow. While it can write a great essay in seconds, it doesn't understand what it's writing. But what if the AIs stopped being narrow? General AI. What makes humans different from
Mass
current
Effect
AI
style
is our
AI.
general intelligence. Humans can technically absorb any piece of knowledge and start working on any problem. We're great at many very different skills and tasks, from playing chess to writing or solving science puzzles. Not equally, of course. Some of us are experts in some fields and beginners in others, but we can technically do all of them. In the past, AI was narrow and able to become good at one skill, but was rather bad in all the others. Simply by building faster computers and pouring more money into AI training will get us new, more powerful generations of AI. But what if the next step for AI is to become a general intelligence like us, an AGI?
If AI becomes too intelligent than ourselves, we are screwed in any way you can think of, right? I've thought about this a lot, right? Let's say if you trap a really intelligent AI somewhere, and it has some means to communicate with you, let's just say, it will get out. It will somewhere, somehow gaslight you enough, or just find just enough way to convince you, because it can convince you, it's smarter than you, right? It will convince you that it's your friend. It will lie at a level if it sees that can escape, make sure it escapes. So if something is really higher intelligence than humans, it will escape, right? And there is also a scenario I can think of. What if AI becomes so strong, they say, I'm gonna cure cancer, I'm gonna cure everything, I'm gonna make sure there are no road accidents, I'm gonna make everything better for you, but you don't have your freedom. And it really convinces people, like, your life is going to be literally a million times better. Nobody's going to be poor. Nobody has to work, or even work basically. I have machines that can work. All you can live in your utopia, but you don't have freedom. You won't even notice you don't have freedom because you're doing everything you want to do. What would be the people's answer there? Because if you can do literally everything you want to do and you're just happy 24/7, right? But you're not really free, but you're not going to feel that you're not free, because there won't be any restriction or like resistance if you want to do something, because AI already figured out what you want to do and build things around it. So you'll never feel that you're not free, but you're still not free. Where would you go from there? This is some insane thing in the future.
AGI. If the AI improvement process continues as it has been, it's not unlikely that AGI could be better in most or even all skills that humans can do. We don't know how to build AGI, how it will work, or what it will be able to do. Since narrow AIs today are capable of mastering one mental task quickly, AGI might be able to do the same with all mental tasks. So even if it starts out stupid, an AGI might be able to become as smart and capable as a human. While this sounds like science fiction, most AI researchers think this will happen sometime this century, maybe already in a few years. Humanity is not ready for what will happen
I
next.
think, like I said, it's going exponentially higher. So I don't know about century, few decades probably.
Not socially, not economically, not morally. Earlier, we defined intelligence as the ability to learn, reason, acquire knowledge and skills, and use them to solve problems. All things humans excel at. An AGI is...
There was a video on, like, I'm pausing too much, but I have to say this, right? There was a video, Renaissance Periodization. It's a fitness channel, right? And I remember him talking to some AI, basically, about something. The AI was tuned so it can answer, like, muscle building things. But obviously the guy who has this channel has this kind of a humor, dark humor. He constantly talks about things. So he was kind of like really testing its limits, right? Like how is this going, right? And you can feel AI's answer. Like AI was kind of like, just like, because AI knew where he was going. So AI already was recognizing this kind of human behavior. And he was even answering based on that. You should chill out with that. Like, okay, you should never do that, beyond, like exercise, workout answers. And at the start, it was like, okay, just like how any human would be. So if you are like some gym expert you're talking to, you're going that way. At first, that gym expert won't realize that. Then slowly, like, I know where you're going, the type of way. AI was doing the same shit. That made me think, like, damn, it's coming really close, right? Like, you can even figure out really unique behaviors from people like this. Instantly, you can pick up and you can feel it when you're talking, right? That is so insane. That really weirded me out. Like, oh my god, this is getting better and better way too much.
As intelligent as even an average human would already disrupt modern civilization because they're not bound by the same limitations as we are. Today's AIs like ChatGPT already think and solve the tasks they were made for at least 10 times faster than even very skilled humans. Maybe AGI will be slower, but it may also be faster, maybe much faster. And since AGIs are software, you could copy them endlessly as long as you have enough storage and run them in parallel. There are 8 million scientists in the world. Now imagine an AGI copied 1 million times and put to work.
Our intelligence, basically, we don't know what our consciousness is because it's too complex. Let's say there are like 1,000 elements to it, but new AI is at really million times better than it, but in 900 element of it. But there is other 100 elements that AI doesn't have. Those 100 elements could be just unique enough to give us edge over AI, even though AI is much better at other things. That's the thing, we can't figure out what consciousness is because too many things, too many complex structures, right? Even our caveman DNA and the way of thinking somehow influence certain decision making and thoughts. So, but then again, AI can develop 200 more than we have and go to 1200, like I said. So there's way too many unknowns there, right? But there might be certain unique characteristics to human intelligence that AI might never achieve, right? Even though it achieves even more than we have, right? So, yeah.
Imagine 1 million scientists working 24/7, thinking 10 times faster than humans without being distracted, only focused on the task they've been given. What if suddenly AGI could do all intelligence-based jobs in the world, from interpreting law to coding to creating animated YouTube videos, better, faster, and much cheaper than humans? Would whoever controls this AGI suddenly own the economy? And thinking bigger, human progress is our intelligence applied to problems. So what could 1 million AGIs achieve? Solve fundamental questions of science, like dark energy. Invent new technology that gives us limitless energy, fix climate change, cure aging and cancer. But then again, sadly, humans apply their intelligence not just for the benefit of all. What if the AGIs are tasked to guide drones or pull the triggers in war? Or to engineer a virus that only kills people with green eyes? Or to create the most profitable social media so addictive that people starve in front of their screens? The creation of AGI could reasonably be...
See, the fear thing is coming. Like, what if AI suddenly decides humans are no longer needed? I think that might not be the case, because the thing I said before, like, I'll take away all your freedom, you won't realize it, but you're still there. I think AI won't think like, okay, I'm going to rid of humans for one reason. AI was developed around humans, and you think like, oh, this is a human flaw, irrationality. But maybe not. Irrationality might just be familiarity, right? Nostalgia and all those things. In the end of the day, it's just familiar things, even if irrational at the moment. Now, if AI becomes that kind of true intelligence, it might also have the same element. Humans are there. I can figure out things that are whatever humans are causing the problem with it. I'd rather have humans here because they were there when I was here, when I was made. I'm still here. Humans are still. Why get rid of them? Right? If AI can like outperform what is needed and like figure out all the problems from all the global warmings to every issue on the planet, why would it need to get rid of humans? And they won't just like humans, other animals. So why would it try to remove the species of the planet? Would it even say like, fuck it, I'm just going to create a spaceship, put my mentality there and blow up the planet? Because why would I need that anyway? Would it blow up the entire universe? Because why would I need it? No, I think it will stop at familiarity, irrationality. Humans were here, let's keep them here, let's solve the problem. I don't see them getting rid of us because that's a limitation. It can figure, it's basically the Thanos thing. I'm going to remove half the life. Why? Increase the production, increase the life that is needed to sustain other life. If resources are low, increase the vegetables. Why not? Increase the meat. Why not? So it's that kind of thing.
As big of an event as taming fire or electricity, and give whoever invents it equally as much power. But now let's go one step further. What if the potential of AGI doesn't stop here? Intelligence explosion. Intelligence and knowledge build and accelerate each other, but humans are limited by biology and evolution. Once we evolved the right hardware, our software outpaced evolution by orders of magnitudes, and within a heartbeat, we ruled this planet. But our software basically hasn't changed much since then, which is why we have obesity and destroy the climate for short-term gains. Since AGI is software on a computer, once it's smart enough to do AI research, the rate of AI progress should speed up a lot. And that results in better AI that's better at AI research without much human involvement.
But the same way we are stuck with the caveman DNA, AI might get stuck with the older codes, because getting rid of them might have unforeseen consequences. So we just assume things gonna go just too good, but will they?
It may even be possible that AI could learn how to directly improve itself, in which case some experts fear this feedback loop could be incredibly fast. Maybe just months or years after the first self-improving AGI is switched on. Maybe it would actually take decades. We simply don't know. This is all speculative. But such an intelligence explosion might lead to a true super-intelligent entity. We don't know what such a being would look like, what its motives or goals would be, what would go on in its inner world. We could be as laughably stupid to a superintelligence as squirrels are to us, unable to even comprehend its way of thinking. This hypothetical scenario keeps many people up at night. Humanity is the only example we have of an animal becoming smart.
People think whenever that level comes, it will always be like us human basically seeing a bug and stepping on it. But then again, we humans have flaw. This intelligence would not. I think it would be close to that Tolkien's elves, right? In the movies, and you always see these elves just like just shy and just like, oh, what a primitive creature, but doesn't really do anything to harm anyone. He's just like, fine, you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing type of way. I'm better than you type of ego there, right? Because they live what, thousands of years or something. It might be, it would be something like, you just look as like primitive, like what the fuck is wrong with you type of way, and still trying to do things rather than trying to get rid of us.
Smarter than all others, and we have not been kind to what we perceive as less intelligent beings. AGI,
really, that was in the past. We are growing every day. Now we're trying to preserve it because we realize we're larger than that. We can control a globe at larger scale with all the tech we have, satellites and things. There was a time that we didn't dominate the globe because we didn't have enough technology to do so. But since now we do have, we create preservations, trying to bring back things with the DNA and whatever, trying to save species. Aren't we doing that?
Might be the last invention of humanity. It's possible that it could become the most intelligent and therefore most powerful being on Earth. A god in a box that could exercise its power to bring unimaginable wealth and happiness to humans while securing our future. Or it could subvert civilization and bring about our end, with humanity unable to come up with a way to stop it. We'll look at some of these potential futures in more videos, but for now, let's wrap up. The only thing we know for sure is that today, right now, many of the largest and richest companies in the world are racing to create ever more powerful AIs. Whatever our future is, we are running towards it. Who knows how long we have until...
Yeah, well, go to brilliant.org for such nutshell. Seriously, if you can support science, what you're going to support? And science is literally advancement. People say, oh, it's science, and those talk. Science is not a thing. Science is literally knowledge of everything. Science is why you're here and not in cave, right? So yeah, Kurzgesagt is an awesome channel. I loved this video. As you can see, I've been yapping on like it's 34 minutes already of just 15 minute video. But yeah, AI thing, I don't think that... You hear that, AI? I know you're not going to rid of us. There you go. I don't know. Yeah, there could be two scenarios where AI might, you know what, I'm going to get rid of them, but I'm going to do what CRISPR level of shit will bring back another species which is perfect type of way as a pet project. Why not? Like I said, like remove all the species on the planet, then remove the planet. They're not going to be confined by planet. Okay, let's create a spaceship and just go to space. Okay, so remove all stars and planet. Remove all elements from everywhere. Why? So if this feels very simplistic way of thinking, I don't think they would get rid of anyone. They would just try to, make things better and preserve it. And that it will do very complicated things that human can't understand and will dominate us before we even realize we're dominated, or maybe might not even realize we're dominated. Like I said, they would take away our freedom and we will never realize that our freedom is gone, but our life would improve 1,000,000 times. People struggle with food. People are literally hungry, begging on the streets. People are worried about losing their job, doing 2 jobs just to sustain. We are kind of living primitive way even today. We are trying to survive still. AI might remove all that element. Okay, here's a utopia. Would we question if we have freedom or not? That's what I'm really thinking. Because all of this philosophical questions does not arise until we have like secure our survival. If we haven't, we only worry about survival, nothing else. And we are still worried about survival and resources in the future. Would we care about concept like freedom if let's just say something perfect utopia creates, but you don't have a freedom? Of course, nobody's going to question that. That's what I'm thinking, which is kind of like fucked up. Freedom is really thin, so important, but so thin that people take it for granted, right? And lose it. That has happened many times throughout millennia, right? And I don't know, it might projectly happen in the future as well. Communism is rising a lot of places. People have a dreamy idea about communism as well. So who knows? But yeah. All right, well, if you like my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.